Catholics think that they can attain salvation through good works. This is myth number 10. Which one is it? Faith alone or faith combined with good works? The debate is probably most closely associated with Martin Luther, but the Church teaches that it is faith in Jesus Christ, expressed through love for others. That is the path to salvation. In James 2, chapter 14, verses 1, we read, "What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith, but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister has nothing to wear and has no food for the day, and one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm, and eat well,' but you do not give them the necessities of the body, what good is it? So also, faith of itself, if it does not have works, is dead." Pope Benedict XVI said, "Love of neighbor, grounded in the love of God, is first and foremost a responsibility for each individual member of the faithful." Faith and good works cannot be separated. They are the two sides of one coin, the currency with which we can claim our salvation. Our faith, as a lived reality, finds its expression in the things that Jesus preached during his lifetime, feeding the hungry, comforting the lonely, clothing the naked. On its own, faith is not enough, nor are good works enough on their own. But these two things in tandem can lead us to salvation. Myth number 11. The Catholic Church is anti-sex. This topic is always a tough one. We have to understand that there's a big difference between sex and sexuality. Sex is an act, and according to the Church teachings, there are times when that act is acceptable and times when it is not. Sexuality, on the other hand, is not just about sexual desires, but about sexual identity. These are the qualities that define a person as a man or a woman, and the Church looks at the whole person. We are called to live a vocational life, and this includes married life, single life, or religious life. The Church promotes chastity, which is a very misunderstood term. Chastity is not another word for celibacy, as celibacy means not being able to be married. Chastity refers to the living out of your sexuality according to your vocation. If you are a priest, religious, or single person, chastity will mean that you are not sexually active. But even married couples are expected to live chaste lives through the behavior within their marriage. The Catechism of the Catholic Church says, "In marriage, the physical intimacy of the spouses becomes a sign and pledge of spiritual communion." In our very sexualized society, people find it difficult to understand the Church's teachings, as they seem so far removed from the opinions of many. In general, our culture speaks to doing whatever feels good. The message to wait and abstain is not a popular one, but God created us, and He knows what is best for us. Myth number 12. Catholics put the bishops, priests, and Pope in the place of God. St. Thomas Aquinas said, "Only Christ is a true priest, the others being only His ministers." Christ's representatives here on earth are the Pope, bishops, and priests, but they're not here to take the place in the minds and hearts of His people. When celebrating Mass or granting absolution during the sacrament of confession, the priest is said to be acting in persona Christi, which means in the person of Christ. Everything revolves and points to Christ, and nothing about a priest's ordination makes him divine. The Catechism of the Catholic Church explains that holy orders confers a gift of the Holy Spirit that permits the exercise of sacred power, which can come only from Christ Himself through His Church. This means that through the power of the Holy Spirit, ordinary men are given the grace and power to act in the person of Christ. Let's look at myth number 13. Catholicism is no better than paganism. An anti-Catholic website stated that Catholicism is nothing more than paganism clothed in Christian veneer. Many people who aren't informed see Catholics who wear religious medals or pray with rosary beads, see statues with candles burning before them, or incense rising from the altar and think, pagans! Many of the things that non-Catholics think of as pagan are known as sacramentals and are devotions to help us as humans make a connection to the divine. They help us to grow in faith. They have nothing to do with idol worship or magic. To visualize heaven is far beyond our comprehension, and having sacred signs such as holy water, relics, stained glass windows, and statues are things that give us ways to express our faith. They are tangible ways to deepen our faith and live our faith day by day. They help to give us a small taste of the sacred. Myth number 14. Opposition to reason and anti-science. In the opening paragraph of his 1998 encyclical letter, Fides et Ratio, Pope St. John Paul II said this: "Faith and reason are like two wings on which the human spirit rises to the contemplation of the truth." The Church has always taught that faith and reason and science can and must coexist. Pope Leo XIII, in his encyclical Aeterni Patris, said that advantage should be taken of human science, which he called an approved and wise practice. History testifies that this was observed by the most respected fathers of the Church. How then is it that Catholics are portrayed as people who just accept blindly, without applying their grey matter? The most probable reason seems to be that the media and society in general choose not to look at what the Church teaches, or at the lives of the saints who showed clearly that you can be an intellectual and a devout Catholic at the same time. Throughout the history of the Church has supported scientific study, and the Vatican Observatory is one of the oldest astronomical research institutes in the world. Sadly, many Catholics don't understand the symbiotic relationship between faith and reason, and often think that just because the Church disagrees with some scientific efforts or findings on moral or ethical grounds, that it means it is opposed to the science. The Catechism of the Catholic Church stresses that science and technology are precious resources, and that scientific research is a significant expression of man's dominion over creation. Here we see that the Church is not opposed to science or reason, but those things are viewed in the light of how they serve humanity and human dignity. And to end off, a quote from Venerable Fulton Sheen: "Not 100 in the United States hate the Roman Catholic Church, but millions hate what they mistakenly think the Roman Catholic Church is." And remember, fight the good fight and keep the faith.